All right, Beer Night followers, this is episode 25 of Beer Night. This is the sports segment.
Yes. Tends to be our most current segment.
Usually, yeah. This is what May 19th, right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's Sunday, May 19th. We got 2 Game 7s going on right now.
Fucking A. What's the
one is what is it? Indiana, New York right
Pacers
now.
are up by 20 on the Knicks. 20. Pacers whooping their ass.
Bring that down a little bit because I got a bet between 11 and 15 points that
whooping their ass. It's got to be between 11 and 15?
11 and 15 points, yes.
What the fuck did you make that stupid-ass bet for?
$10. I can win $105. Yeah, why not?
All right.
Fantastic.
Whatever.
But we're going to do sports a little bit differently. We're going to do kind of PTI style a little bit. We're going to have a timer. We're going to time ourselves. Trying to make this segment a little bit shorter than it usually is. So our first...
How are we going to do that? By giving ourselves 10 minutes per topic.
Per topic.
How is that going to make it shorter?
It just
okay.
It will. Once the timer goes off, I'll have it here on the phone.
Yeah, but if there's...
Shut the fuck up and move to the next segment.
But if there's 3 topics, then we're,
But then PTI also goes over the horn.
I know. Well. So it's like we're back into a 40-minute video. It's like, it was square one.
Square uno. All right. So I'm going to set the timer. Our first topic is the NBA postseason and NBA talk. What do we got going on? 3, 2, 1. Let's talk.
I don't think you need to do a countdown.
I probably not, huh? But
so
NBA, what do you think about this postseason so far?
So the Celtics have it way too easy.
Way too easy.
Fuck Boston.
Cleveland could have taken it to Game 7 if Mitchell and Allen were fucking healthy and available to play.
I mean, that's a big
I think
if.
they would have made it at least Game 7. I think Boston would have beaten them. But I think Cleveland could have pushed their buttons.
What if Porzingis was healthy? There's always ifs. There's always ifs.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Damn it,
whatever.
my Cavs could have. Health. Get him healthy, man.
No, the Cavs. Let's be real. The Cavs are no match.
Did you see what Mitchell did when that was Game 3?
Yeah, one game.
One game.
It's a
but
7-game series.
If he kept it going, he could.
If. The Celtics are stacked compared to the Cavs.
Yes,
that's the problem.
They are.
So,
but I mean, Boston in the regular season had that run where they fucking just lost. Bad losses too, double-digit losses.
What are you talking about? They had outnumbered everybody else in the Eastern Conference and wins by plus 10.
Well, yeah, but they had a week or two of really, really bad
everybody
losses.
in the regular season has
really
a week of bad losses.
Yeah.
That's the NBA. That's because the season's way too long.
It is.
But the Boston's win total was ridiculous. Like they were so far ahead of everybody. So they're just a stacked team. But they've had it way too easy. I think anybody who comes out of the West is going to be battle tested, but they're also going to be worn down.
Games. Fucking what was it, yesterday's game, the OKC and Dallas game.
Oh, fucking great game.
Did you see that fucking ending?
No, I was asleep during it because I had to work, but,
saw the highlights
late
maybe.
Night. But, but still.
What an ending, too. It was great.
I mean, kudos to Dallas for pulling out. OKC's not quite there yet. They're still a little too
young.
Still a little too young.
They're going to be up there. They're going to definitely be up there.
They got assets up the ass. They got draft picks. So they can trade to get somebody.
Yeah.
They got assets. They can keep building their team. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to take a moment to talk about Dallas and Luka and Kyrie.
Okay.
Really making it work. And did you see those guys after the game hugging it out?
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw Kyrie like that with any teammate of his?
I'm happy for Kyrie this year, dude. He's kept a low profile.
Mm-hmm.
He's just went out there and played basketball. There's no nonsense coming out of his mouth or anything like that. He's played ball.
And he got this rep, especially after his stint in Boston. The Nets a little bit. But really, after his stint in Boston, he got this rep as being a very selfish player, right?
Definitely in Boston, but I think it amplified in fucking Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, he had Kevin Durant there. I think Boston, when he was the guy, he really got this rep as being a selfish player.
Yeah.
So, and in Brooklyn, it just didn't work like they thought it was going to. Like Dallas's success is what they were expecting to have in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like when you see the thing about Kyrie is you forget how good he is. Mm-hmm. And so when you have Luka there, who's just an offensive juggernaut, right? And then when he doesn't have it going, or when he needs a breather, when he needs to suck some wind, even if he's on the court and needs to take a break, you have Kyrie there who legit can take over a game.
Oh yeah. Big
And that's such a monstrous 1-2 punch if they make it work. And now the knock on them was that, well, they're not going to make it work. But this year they are.
Yeah.
And again, like if you watch that game and watch those two, how they hugged it out after the game. When was the last time you ever saw Kyrie like that? Not with LeBron. Not really with KD.
Not really with LeBron. Maybe.
Not really with KD.
Too much, no.
I mean, KD.
He was young with LeBron, so.
But like, he just seems a little content.
And I like it. I like it. Just be that way. Fucking play ball, man. Balling his ass off. He's always been the best ball handler in the league currently.
Well,
anyways,
and when you and he's picking his spots, which is key because he's okay with Luka dominating the ball. Yeah. But then when he needs to take over, he's there and ready, and he can take over as well as anybody in the league can, really.
Exactly.
So that's a monstrous 1-2 punch, and especially if they're in sync and playing together.
I'm glad they stick to it, too, because I remember at the end of last season how it just felt like it didn't work out, and they were thinking of trading him. It was like, no, give it more time. And they got a lot more time.
They figured out Jason Kidd.
Clicking on
Jason Kidd has done a great coaching job. He's actually got them playing defense, too, which you never thought you'd hear about the Dallas Mavericks. Other than when they had like Brunson there, maybe. They're actually playing defense and
Luka playing defense.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's done a good job of getting that. I mean, it's a pretty good success story, and it's going to be interesting to see them against either the Nugs or the Wolves. Which now that series,
Game 7 tonight. Who you got? Who you think is going to take that?
I think I just got to go with the champs by default, just because
so
they know how to win.
I think the champs as well.
I think they just
they
know how to win.
came down from a 2-0 deficit and they fucking won. Boom, boom.
They just know how to win. They just know how to win. But you know what? Credit to the Wolves. They came out after losing 3 straight.
A lot of fucking people.
They came out and blew the Nuggets the fuck out.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a close game too. Game 7, both teams are gonna.
Game 6 was a statement by the Wolves because they lost 3 straight at that point. And the Nugs looked like it's the champs taking over, but then the Wolves came out and just annihilated in Game 6. It was embarrassing. And the Nuggets are going to come back. In Game 7, they're going to be right there. Jokic is a fucking ridiculous. Like the Game 5 performance after he gets the MVP award, then he just goes out there and completely dominates everybody in the world who comes near him. Like that was just insane. Like it was insane. Now, the Wolves came back in Game 6 and pushed it to a Game 7 and winning by 45 points, leading by 50 at one point.
It felt like just Denver was just defeated. Like, all right, you got us. We'll see Game 7 pretty much. But
Anthony Edwards,
good game.
Anthony Edwards is a fucking star.
He is the
by
next
the way.
Big thing.
He is a star, not just his play, but his charisma. Like he's just got personality for days.
Oh yeah.
Did you see you saw the Adam Sandler movie Hustle, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. He steals every scene in that he's in that movie. Like you're like, who the fuck is this kid? He's like, when they shot that movie, that fucker was like 20.
Yeah.
It's like 19 or 20. And it's like he just had that charisma, that presence. Yeah, and I think he was a rookie when they shot that movie.
Probably, yeah, because that was 2020, 2021?
Yeah, somewhere in there. And,
maybe 2019, maybe.
He had just been drafted. I think he was a rookie. He had just been drafted. Yeah. And I remember hearing like talk shows talk about it when that movie was coming out. And they're like, Anthony Edwards is really good in this movie. Yeah. Like he's actually really good. He plays the villain part really well. And he does. He's got just charisma and screen presence. And when you hear him interviewed, like he's just he's to me, he reminds me a lot of Kobe. Just that ice cold, fucking matter of fact, kind of smirking assassin demeanor. Although Kobe didn't really smirk that much. He was just like Hitman out there, just very like, I'm coming for your nuts and you cannot stop me. Anthony Edwards is more like, he's like the smiling assassin. So but he's a star for sure.
That means the Lakers straight for him, right? Next couple years, Lakers going to Lakers. He's a star. Hollywood.
No, he's not going to Lakers.
No?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Where do you think LeBron's going? You think he's going anywhere? No.
He's staying in LA.
All right. Whoever drafts Bronny is where he'll go, I think.
No, he's staying in LA.
All right.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got a little bit more time left in this segment.
Like I said, 10 minutes is a lot, bro.
Who's going to who's going to win the East? Who's going to win the West?
Celtics are going to win the East.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I got to go with the chalk.
I know we still.
I got to go with the chalk in the West and go with the Nugs.
Nugs. You think
I
Nugs
think
are
so.
winning 7 and going to win the West?
Like their bench is not what it should be. It really isn't. But I do have faith in Jokic, of course, and I think Murray still has some playoff, brilliance in him, like he always does. I don't, and because I think they'll pose a better. You know what's actually more interesting and more fun is if they don't make it. Who can beat Boston? I think both the Wolves and the Mavs would actually match up pretty well against Boston and be a fun series. Both of those teams.
I think if Indy wins this game here, I think Indiana could give Boston a run for their money. They're really good defense.
I just don't see it. I think
Boston's got
too much
firepower. Too much.
Too much depth and too much firepower. But I would love it if Indy beat them though. That'd be fucking great. Fuck Boston.
Fuck Boston. Exactly. With time to spare, we'll end that there.
I told you 10 minutes is a long time.
Yes, it is.
We could have cut that way short.
We had like 20 seconds left. Calm down.
I mean, we could have shaved a few minutes off. Is what I'm saying.
We could have. The next segment we got is talking women's sports.
Are you sure we need 10 minutes on this?
It'd probably be less than that, but we'll
10
see.
minutes about Caitlin Clark. Clayton Kershaw. No, Caitlin Clark. 10 minutes.
Get her name right.
10 minutes about Caitlin Clark. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Start the timer, goddammit. We gotta make sure we're on time with this one.
Timer is already started.
Okay.
It's be quick. So I've talked to coworkers about this stuff, why have us as men, why don't we watch women's sports? Why haven't we ever caught our eyes to watch?
Well, there's a built-in bias there. We automatically think that men are better at sports, therefore our eyes are automatically drawn to them. I think one of the biggest proponents of women's sports, honestly, has been women's tennis.
Williams,
I've
always caught my. I think
the Williams sisters for sure, and even before that, you think about Sharapova kind of had like sex appeal and stuff like that, but she was also a winner, and she wasn't like Kornikova where she only had sex appeal. Yeah. She also was a winner. But then you think about before that, you think about Martina Hingis, and even go longer before that, Billie Jean King and stuff like that. There was women's tennis has always been kind of on the map.
It has, yeah.
So I think that deserves a lot of credit, particularly the Williams sisters, and really kind of taking it to the next level. Now, as far as other sports, the WNBA. I mean, this is a Caitlin Clark segment. Let's call a spade a spade.
But before we get into the WNBA, let's talk what other other besides basketball. What other?
How about the LPGA, for example?
So what's that one LGBT?
She just won.
She's way back when
she was going. Oh,
way back when.
Yeah, she played with the men.
Yeah,
the one that played with the men.
What was her name? You remember?
Shit.
Was it?
What is her name?
She was like Japanese.
I can't remember where I stayed last week. You want to remember? You want me to remember it?
I rember she was a big thing
because her dad
she dominated the
her no she didn't she struggled
a little bit of time
because what happened is her dad pushed her to play with the men, and that was a big thing. She had crossover appeal because she actually played with the men and didn't do well. And then when she went to the LPGA, it took her a while to get started. What the fuck was her name? Google that shit.
I'll put it up there, but
so. We're bad with names here. We are.
I'm always horrible.
It'll
with names.
come to me long after
but
the segment's over.
You know who we are talking about. You know who we're talking about.
So the LPGA has gotten some traction. Nothing like women's tennis, though. Again, to kind of highlight that, women's tennis has always been much bigger than, particularly with Wimbledon and U.S. Open and stuff like that. The Williams sisters kind of really took it to the next level. So. Women's soccer kind of deserves a lot of credit. Winning the World Cup. I mean, that was a big deal.
2000 was it early 2000s?
They've won it multiple times, I believe.
Well, what was the big one where that one? What I remember was took her shirt off, did the little slide.
Yeah.
What year was that? Remember, was it early 2000s or 99?
I don't know what year that was, but it was a big deal.
But it was a big deal. I remember women's soccer definitely is
Women's
a
tennis,
big
though, is
deal.
really
Big
been
deal
at the
too.
forefront.
Yeah.
You know what's always been lagging behind?
Yeah,
What has
what?
always struggled really hard is the
WNBA.
WNBA.
WNBA. Yeah, it has.
Not now.
Yeah. So
Not now.
I think before we talk WNBA, we have to talk about the college, right?
Yeah.
Because the college, the whole Caitlin Clark thing just blew up. Like,
Yeah.
she
It really
became
did.
just a fantastic. She broke a bunch of records.
Yeah.
And like I think the rivalry between her, Caitlin Clark, and Angel Reese,
Mhm.
who's on LSU.
LSU.
Yeah.
LSU.
I think
Angel Reese, great player too. By
great
the way.
player, blew up. Like you got to have a good rivalry, right?
Well,
Someone to
and
combat each other.
And Caitlin Clark is just a superstar. Like she just was.
Superstar
Like it just,
didn't
it
win
just,
a ring, but but
Well, you don't get rings in college.
you get whatever. They won the.
It's not a ring.
It's not a ring?
In college.
I remember Angel Reese pointed to her finger.
Sure.
And some
Maybe they
some
get a
controversial
ring. Nobody
celebration.
fucking cares if they get a ring in college.
So I
They got a
always
championship.
hated.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I've always
Championship.
hated college basketball, men's and women's. I hate college basketball.
But you know what? This year the women's tournament was compelling.
Very
It really
compelling.
was.
It
The men's.
So I didn't really watched it because I was at work
You
most
didn't
of the time.
really watched it.
Watched it,
didn't-
because I was at work most of the time that the games were on. But I always was excited to see the highlights, and usually when the highlights come on, whether it's Sportscenter, whether it's the talk shows, I just fast forward it. I don't want to hear it. But this time around, I was like, okay, let's check it out. Let's see what's going on. I think star power is a real thing when it comes to
course.
men's and women's. You got to have some sort of star power.
There's a magnetism there.
And it helps when a sports channel actually gives coverage to it.
Of course.
Gives
course.
decent, really good coverage.
That's
to
the thing, and that's one of the things that always hurt the WNBA, right? That's one of the things that, if you want to go back in history, something like the XFL, for example, that's one of the things that hurt the first iteration because they had great promotion to start,
Great promotion.
but then maintaining that was difficult because they weren't getting coverage from ESPN.
Yeah.
That's it. That's one of the major things that sunk the league, along with a few other things. But that's one of the major things is you can't gain traction if the worldwide leader, the mothership, is not covering you. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, for example, she's a champion of the worldwide leader, the mothership, right? So that makes a huge, huge difference.
Yeah.
There's a magnetism that comes with star power, right? That comes with electric play. That when you see her shoot, when you see the Steph Curry style stuff that she does, there's a magnetism and excitement there. Even if some of it is kind of manufactured by the media coverage, there's only so much of it can be manufactured because then you watch it and the excitement is there. So the perfect example, you know how many WNBA games I've watched in my life in full?
In full? This is where I'm at.
Donut.
Yeah.
Until her debut game.
You watched it, huh?
I did.
Yeah.
I was in my hotel room. It's
Yeah.
like I gotta go to bed early these days because I work late at night. So I was in my hotel room.
Yeah.
I need some sports on the TV because that's what I always have on the TV in the background. Of sports.
Yeah.
I believe it was Game 5 of the Knicks Pacers. I had on Caitlin Clark's debut WNBA game instead of Game 5 of Knicks Pacers.
There you go. See, that's what star power does, and just
I kind of like it was just like this is like an event that you had to see, and I I do not watch the WNBA, and not because I don't want to see women's sports, but the WNBA is just always kind of lagged behind. I've watched women's tennis, I've watched the Wimbledon championships. I've watched there's these sports that have had excitement and magnetism where women have been involved. WNBA just never quite registered.
So,
I've liked certain athletes in WNBA. I've always really liked Candace Parker. I followed her college career at the time. When she got into the WNBA, it was kind of like, eh. Yeah. It wasn't like really. I almost kind of enjoy her better on television as a commentator than I really followed her career that much in the WNBA. the WNBA just always struggled with promotion. It really did. It struggled so hard.
And I think now, especially with the new crop of talent that came in, like you have those, I think, 2 from LSU.
The fucking draft.
The draft.
Okay.
Was
when was the last time you paid attention to the WNBA draft?
Never.
And never is putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even know there was a fucking draft.
So I think,
like, for all we knew, they just kind of, like, players just kind of went, whatever.
So,
they were just signed by teams. I don't know. Yeah. But the WNBA draft got national audience, got national televised audience, got ratings, and made us all pay attention. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Mostly because of Caitlin Clark, yes. She looked great, by the way. And I just gotta shout out to Caitlin Clark because like she looked great, but so did all the rest of them. And like you just see this, and it's like, okay, what have I been missing here? I feel like this is something that I've just never paid attention to.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of palpable that once you have star power, not just Caitlin Clark, but the other women that were there, they're all great players, and like that was a very fruitful WNBA draft, which you don't. See that every year. Obviously, next year's not going to be like that. But I mean, the point is, there's a lot of great players coming into the league, and if they can catch lightning in a bottle and promote it properly, they already have a built-in kind of weapon, so to speak, with Caitlin Clark. But they have a lot of other players to highlight as well, and it's not just Angel Reese; it's other ones as well.
Timer's up, but go a little bit over the horn.
Steve, do me a favor.
What?
Turn the fucking sound off.
No.
Or make it like a buzzer or something. Buzzer? Not that. Whatever the fuck that was.
That was the arcade buzzer.
Okay.
Arcade.
Whatever the fuck that was.
No?
Yeah, let's not have that again. Okay, let's not have that again.
We spoil it. But before we move on to the next topic.
10 minutes on Caitlin Clark. What do you think?
We're excited for women's sports. We're happy that they're getting their just due.
No, honestly, like.
And getting more promotion.
To me, it's the fact that the WNBA, which has been around so long, and it's always been kind of like an eye roll type thing. Not because it's women's sports, but just because it's just never been that compelling. The NBA has never found a way to promote it correctly. I think, even when they had stars, even when they had Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker and so many great stars, but they just never found a way to make it compelling. And all of a sudden now they just kind of have it. I don't know.
I think social media helps, and rivalries help, because I definitely want to see Clayton Clark and Angel Reese, go at it in WNBA. I think those two are gonna be just a great. It's gonna be like LeBron and Steph. That type of fucking feel to it. It's going to be exciting. You can't wait for them to play each other. Maybe go in the playoffs or something like that. They play like 32.
Here's the thing: it's
games.
like all of a sudden we're like interested in the WNBA playoffs. By the way, Caitlin Clark's team, the Fever, isn't going to make the playoffs this year because they're terrible. They're not a good team. They're going to have to retool for next year so that we can get her into the playoffs.
The Chicago team though might be pretty good. I forget what their team name is though. Chicago, what was it? You think? I don't remember either.
We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet, knowing all the WNBA team names.
We'll get there.
We're early in this venture.
Yeah.
Someday.
I'm trying to remember what my next topic is here that we're doing. We got 5 minutes of the NFL season. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. NFL. Off season.
It hasn't started yet. Bro.
I know, off season. NFL off season.
You said the NFL season.
Whatever. I'm saying off season like 5 fucking
times. So the
times
draft
already.
was cool, I guess.
Draft. Fucking free
Michael
agents.
Penix going to the Falcons was a shock.
That was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Everything else in the draft was pretty much chalk.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The schedule coming out. What do you think about
Give a fuck about the schedule release.
Look at the schedule. The
Woody.
games that are going on like on Peacock, on Netflix, on Amazon. Especially, I think Christmas Day. I think they're on fucking like Netflix.
I don't care as long as they're showing it in a casino.
That's the question. Do you think Vegas is going to catch up and put it on streaming? Because we were in Laughlin when that first Peacock game, the Chiefs and Bills.
Yeah, but that's
game.
Laughlin.
It is Laughlin. You think this Vegas gonna fucking have?
Well, Netflix is
Netflix
more
and-
accessible than Laughlin. It is more accessible than Laughlin, but it's more accessible than Peacock.
Yeah.
So I think Netflix is whatever. But the Peacock games are a thing. We'll see about that. I'm sure more areas as far as public consumption are going to be showing it.
Yeah.
Because of what happened last year and now it's becoming more thing. Like because if you think about the Amazon only games, the Amazon exclusives, that was seamless.
Yeah.
Like when we went out for those games, bar or casino or whatever, there was never an issue. They always had
had it on. Okay.
It was only the Peacock.
I don't know. I
only
usually work
the
on Thursdays.
Peacock game that was an issue, and then everyone else would be like, "Oh, streaming." Blah blah blah. No. The Amazon has had the Thursday night games for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Every place.
I think it was just last year. Last year was the first year.
It seemed like a while.
I think it was last year.
I don't
Last year
know.
was the
It
first year.
seemed like a while.
Yeah.
I was going to casinos in SoCal, and they always had the games. They always had the Amazon
That's
games
good.
on. They always had them.
That's good.
It was
That's good.
only the one time we were in Laughlin with the Peacock game. They're like, "No, we're not showing the game because it's on Peacock." It's like so we're like, "Oh shit, this must be something." I don't know that it's going to be that big of an issue because Netflix is everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have to worry too much about that.
Any
Peacock's kind of an outlier, but I just don't know that it's that big. Like if the Amazon games are everywhere, why aren't the Netflix and Peacock games?
Yeah, because Peacock is owned by ABC,
NBC.
NBC. So I mean,
Hence the Peacock.
Peacock, whatever.
Duh.
I forget which one has the Peacock.
I'm out of
thing.
beer. It's getting ridiculous.
It is. We're almost done here. Anything else from the NFL? What are you looking forward to? Any moves that you thought were good about your Broncos?
I'm looking forward. What? What's so funny?
Your Broncos.
What?
Fucking trading Russell Wilson.
Why is this so funny? I'd rather have Bo Nix than Russell Wilson.
Oh my god. Oh god. What a disaster.
Why is that a disaster? Again, I'd rather have Bo Nix than Russell Wilson. So tell me what the problem is.
What,
I'm confused about what you're laughing about, honestly, because seriously, they look better now than they did last year.
When they get off that trade, and they still think Broncos are paying the majority of that as well.
Oh yeah, they're paying him
And
a
the
lot of money.
cap hit is
Yeah.
fucking horrible.
But that's okay because you get a rookie quarterback,
Yes. Oh man.
and Bo Nix will be good. I still am at a loss as to why you laugh so fucking hard.
It's just
Because why? Because the Browns gave up the house for Deshaun Watson.
we'll be good. We'll be good this year. I swear.
Oh,
Swear.
we were good this year. What about last year?
Made the playoffs last
And
year.
what
didn't we?
about when he
With
was
Joe Flacco?
convicted of like 22 sexual assaults, and they gave him a fucking $240 million contract?
Yeah, I know,
How hilarious was that? But you're over there going like, the Broncos traded away a shitty quarterback and drafted a rookie.
Yeah.
That's so hilarious.
It is
Oh
great.
god.
It's great stuff.
Like when you play with fire.
Yeah.
When you are a Browns fan. I told you to change that chime. When you are a Browns fan and you
happened
decide
this time.
and you try to talk shit on
Yeah.
other teams' management.
It is what it is. Maybe the next time we do an episode, we'll have more NFL news. But we're in the offseason in NFL. They're not Kings right now, but
Although they want to be.
although they want to be. The next segment we have for sports is Chris.
Wait, there's more?
Yes, one more. We got one
Holy
more.
fuck,
We're
this is
we're
a
not at
long-ass
30
segment.
No, we're not even 30 minutes yet.
We're
Maybe
at 35 minutes, dude.
What? No
It
way.
says 3-5,
3-5.
4-9, 5-0.
That's because we gone a little bit over. Chris, guess the stat. So this stat, let me pull it up here 1 second, is the NFL all-time playoff scoring leaders. Give me the top 5 all-time playoff scoring
What?
leaders. Go.
Are we talking about teams?
No, players.
Players? Fuck,
Players
I don't know.
who have all-time scoring lead. Playoffs. I'm tongue-tied here. You're making
Quarterbacks don't count,
No.
right?
NBA all-time
NBA?
NBA. Since we're in the NBA.
Yeah, I think you
Did
said
say
NFL.
NBA? My bad.
Yeah.
NBA player all-time scoring in the playoffs. Who's scoring leaders?
LeBron James.
Number 1.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Just give me the top 5.
I feel like both Kareem and Kobe need to be in there.
Kareem is number 3. Kobe is number 4.
Okay. Who's
So you
number
need
2?
2 and 5.
2. Jordan.
Jordan's number 2.
Okay.
There you go.
And number
Who's
5.
number 5?
Oh, now, number 5. Who the fuck is this?
5 and 6 are really close in the scoring too.
Shit,
As well.
number 5. Wilt?
Negative.
Number 5.
Wilt
Yeah,
is
because
not-
they played a lot of series back then, so he wouldn't have racked up as many points.
Wilt is not even in the top 10.
Because they played so many,
Yeah.
their playoffs were so short back then. They didn't play the series. The playoffs last for a fucking month and a half now.
Yeah. It's fucking
Longer,
crazy.
2 months if you go to the finals.
Yeah.
Anyway,
First round needs to be 5 games, by the way.
is it the mailman?
No.
Tim Duncan.
He's number 6.
Oh, shit.
He's the one next to the number 5. That's real close with number 5. I give you one more guess and then you fail.
Give me a hint.
I'm
I already got 4 of the 5, so just give me a hint.
trying to think of a hint. Center.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That could be so many, but I got to go with Shaq.
You're right.
Okay.
Shaq is number 5.
All right.
There you go. There is Chris. He guessed the stat. He figured it out. Bravo to Chris. That ends our sports segment. Hopefully it was more organized, maybe a little better. We'll figure it out. Maybe next episode get a better.
Oh, look at that.
ring.
It's the same length that it always is.
We tried our hardest to do it, but anyways, that wraps up sports. Music segment is next. He needs another beer, so do I.
Yeah.
All right. Motherfucker.
Put that anywhere, sir.
Oh, fucking hell.